So the Brahmaviharas, the divine abodes, are a part of the traditional Theravadan practice. They're in a category of practice that we call Samata, which translates as either concentration, translates as serenity or tranquility. And the body of practice, the Samata, is under the umbrella that we call purification of mind. So doing these practices purifies our mind, and we need to use a very open definition of mind to include our heart and to include our belly. So it's really a purification of beingness is what it's doing, the different practices, and the Brahmaviharas in particular, because we're used to dealing with heart emotions or heart reactions as an individual, as a concept, a thought. And this is, we're opening to something deeper than that. We're looking to drop beneath the conceptual, the analysis, the relationship, the stories about the different heart qualities, and just be with them directly. What Rincho said at the start, the felt sense, that's what we're orienting to. And this will develop over the course of the day or further practice. So just know that this will all unfold and open. You have to have faith and trust in that. Within concentration meditation, and the Samata is concentration meditation, which includes the Brahmaviharas, there are 3 levels of concentration. All meditation, every kind of meditation, has the first 2. The first is momentary concentration. Simply, where is your awareness in this moment? And it doesn't matter what practice you're doing. Again, this is step 1. The second level is called access concentration. Access concentration technically begins when we can remain with the meditative object for 5 to 15 minutes without serious interruption. So if we're turning towards the innate goodness and we find ourselves thinking about other things and we've lost or mostly lost the meditation, we just simply return without criticism or self-judgment. When we find where it feels like we're staying there for the 10 or 15 minutes, then usually that's the sign access concentration is starting. Access concentration has a lot of benefits. It supports our practice. The main way it supports our practice is through these byproducts of concentration meditation, what are called Janna factors. It's not a great name, but just think of them as beneficial byproducts of the meditation. And the 5 jhana factors, the first, the Pali name is vitakka, which means applied awareness. So that's returning to the meditation. When we find ourselves thinking about something other than the meditation, we come back to the meditation. That's the vitakka, that's the applied awareness. As awareness begins to stay with the meditative object without our having to maintain it there, when it's staying on its own more and more, then that's the second jhana factor, vichara, which is abiding or sustained awareness. It's staying. It's beginning to stay. So when that starts happening, we can relax more. When we get to the vichara and it's sustaining, start relaxing your effort ever so slightly. Just stop doing a little bit and test. If it's an appropriate relaxation, you'll feel the meditation deepen without your doing anything. So there won't be any effort on your part, and you'll feel a deepening, a pull deeper into the meditation. The third jhana factor is piti, which is joy. And piti is bodily felt sensation. So it's this kind of effervescent happiness in the body. The reason that piti is so useful is because piti takes away any body pain we have. So if you have someone who has a routine pain in your knees or back meditating, when piti is present, that'll be minimized or gone. So we can meditate longer. The fourth jhana factor is sukha, which is a head bliss. And bliss is a bit of a strong word, but it's a kind of acceptance and okayness that lets us welcome whatever's going on in our experience. So very useful to have that. And the fifth jhana factor is one-pointedness, upekkha. And this is where our concentration goes from being very broad, like we'd see in a normal lamp in our house. We turn it on, it illuminates the whole room pretty evenly. And if we get a flashlight or torch and we aim it in one direction, we're going to get a more concentrated beam of light. This is like we're doing meditation, we're getting settled, some of the jhana factors are appearing. So our awareness begins to coalesce, to come together, to unify. And we can feel that it's going in this one direction. It's not really picking up anything else with the same intensity it is our meditative object. And then that can lead to the third level of concentration meditation called absorption or jhana. And that's a very particular experience, an experience that's characterized by no self. So there's no self to reference. There's no me present. There's no thoughts. Nothing is happening thought-wise. It's just an open spaciousness. And then we're with the felt sense of the meditation, whatever it is. In the Brahmavihāras, we'd be with one of the heart qualities of the Absolute. And we would have this very potent merger, unification, unity with this quality. So think of it as it's like being in a pool. We're steeping in the pure quality of this heart quality of the Absolute. And by doing so, it really promotes that transformational benefit, again, to our sense of self, our psychology, and also the transcendent. We're getting more intimate. We're developing a relationship with the Absolute, a unity, a partnership, let's say. So again, all meditation as the first two, only concentration meditations have the potential to lead to absorption. The Brahmavihāras absolutely can lead to absorption. We can have that experience. It would be extraordinary for it to happen on this daylong, on a sustained retreat, a 2-week retreat or so. It becomes a viable possibility. So when we're doing purification of mind practices, the concentration practices, it can lead to an experience of absence of self or not self, we call it, where we just don't have the self-reference. Normally, if you reference if you're at a work or family gathering and you meet somebody new, typically people will ask questions. What do you do for a living? Where do you live? What's your age? What's your schooling or what have you? And these are all the markers of me, all the ways we know ourselves relationally. When we're with absence of self, those aren't accessible. Often a response, if I ask somebody who's experiencing no self, who are you, or who are you in this moment? The response will be something like, I don't know. I don't have any idea who I am. Because they can't reference any of the normal self-referencing objects. The practices can also lead to our having direct contact with impermanence, with the conditioned reality. Remembering condition means it has a birth, decay, and death. So we start seeing that all of these things are temporary. It's only a matter of time before everything we can see and witness is going to be dust, is going to be ash, is going to be dirt. Everything is going to die and disintegrate at some point that we can see in our world. That's the conditioned world, and that's the impermanence quality. These practices also can lead to awakening. One of the portals to awakening is through the unity, the unification, the heart merger with the Absolute. That could become a portal into awakening, where we wake up from the story of me as our primary story to a deeper reality, a reality that's not conditioned, it's unconditioned, it's always present, it always has been and always will be. But we recognize this is who I am in a way that's unmistakable.